Welcome to Eli Sports Network, the leader in high school sports broadcasts. Tonight, exciting varsity soccer action is on tap, and we begin it all with a pregame show. Let's head out to the stadium and get set for exciting, fast-paced soccer action under the lights with a pregame show.
And good evening and welcome to Stewart Field here in Aberdeen. Tony W. here with Noel Vasquez and Paul Beatty as we are here for our second Centralia College match. This time it will be the Centralia Blazers taking on the Grays Harbor Chokers here at Stewart Field in Aberdeen. The Blazers come in with a 2-5-1 league record. Grays Harbor comes in at 0-7 and are having a ton of offensive problems for their season. They've scored 3 goals on the entire season and have allowed 39 goals to go into the back of the net. So that's something that they're going to have to try to shore up here at this home game against a team that they have already played one time this season, losing 4-0 to the Centralia College Blazers in that first matchup.
Yeah, and, I was there for the first game between these two teams, and it was a really good game for Centralia College. They came out starting, moving the ball well, and it took them a little while to get things going, but once they got that first goal, it kind of opened everything else for them. As you said, Grays Harbor's been struggling quite a bit trying to finish and score some goals, and that's been hurting them, but like I said, even Centralia, with the record they have now, they actually have some talent that could do something out there, but they just can't figure everything out yet, and they just can't put things together for them.
Yeah, and they're just now getting to where they're full healthy, full go. One player is out. Jana Gert is going to be out for the Blazers. She's been sick. She didn't travel with the team in this game. The other player of note is Sam Lindsay. Is possible she might play, might not. She has an upper quad injury, so talking to Coach Malunup before the game, he doesn't know if the game gets out of hand, she definitely won't play, but if it's one of those grinded out games, she could be one of those that comes in to just spell somebody to give them fresh legs to help out with the rotation, but don't look for her to be a main focal point of this offense in this game. All right, we are going to take a timeout and be back with more of the pregame show after this on the Eli Sports Network.
Centralia College is where your success begins. Fresh out of high school, want to extend your athletic career, or are heading back to class for a new career, Centralia College is a great place to start. It's not too early to begin planning, and the Centralia College Foundation can help you pay for your education. The foundation offers more than $500,000 in scholarships every year. You can apply easily by going to centralia.edu/scholarships. Centralia College is where your success begins.
Working together for a common goal. That's what teamwork is all about. Tom and Karen Alderson and all the staff at Awards West Printwares congratulates all of our local athletes for the time and effort they have invested in learning to play their game and in learning how to be good teammates. At Awards West Printwares, we take a lot of pride in working as a team to provide quality custom awards, screen printing, embroidery, and banners. Alderson's Awards West Printwares on Kresge in Centralia.
The Holiday Inn Express in Chehalis is pleased to support the student athletes that dedicate themselves to be the best they can be. The Holiday Inn Express offers large, clean rooms with an indoor pool, fitness center, spa, free breakfast, Wi-Fi, and business center. The Chehalis Holiday Inn Express also has 2 meeting rooms and can accommodate up to 100. Call for more details or go online at hiexpress.com, or you can click on the Holiday Inn Express advertisement on the Eli Sports Network. When you are looking to stay overnight, remember the Holiday Inn Express.
And welcome back to Stewart Field here in Aberdeen. Tony Davila here with Noel Vasquez and Paul Beatty as we get set for the Centralia Trailblazers, Centralia College Trailblazers taking on the Grays Harbor Chokers. And looking at these two teams, at that first game, Centralia got a big win there, 4-0. that was probably one of their best wins of the season, as they only have 2 on the season. So one of them was against this Grays Harbor team. So really trying to get back into the flow, get Jocelyn Lindsay, who is going to start in this game, go and get her back to being full strength and have the offense at full go now for the Centralia College Blazers. Should help them out, especially against a team that they've already beaten. And if you can get that momentum going of goals scored against a team, that could really kickstart an end-of-the-season run.
Yeah, and you just never know. They played LCC. They had a tough game, 1-1. I wasn't there, but you guys were. From what I heard from even the players when I talked to them and see them around, they said it was a really competitive game, probably high-intensity game, where they were actually showing, what they've been needing this whole season. It's important for Centralia to come in and win this game. If anything was to happen, if they got down on score or anything, it would be something that would put them under a lot of pressure, especially after beating this team before. Now, Grace Harbor, they've been struggling all season, like you mentioned. They haven't won a game yet, and they're with a new head coach this year, things are changing a little bit. I don't see them as bad as they were last year. They're slowly getting better. And like you said, if Centralia can make a run at the end of the season, maybe Grace Harbor starts theirs today.
Yeah, that could be one of those two that they start to get things together. But looking at the standings here in the West Regional, Tacoma leads the region with a 6-0-2 record. Highline right behind at 6-0-1. Bellevue at 5-2. Pierce College at 4-4. Lower Columbia at 2-3-2. They tied Centralia in their last game. 2-5-1 is Centralia in 6th place, followed by Green River at 1-5, and then Grays Harbor at 0-7 in the region. And in the regionals, and the scoring breakdowns, Centralia not too far behind Grays Harbor in goals allowed. Grays Harbor has allowed 39, Centralia 31 on the season, so that back line has gotten a little leaky. But I like the moving back of Mary Richardson to play a center back role, a sweeper kind of play. She does a lot of the goal kicks. She can get the ball down the field, and she has that speed, being a natural midfield forward, to back up and really run alongside some of the faster players that are going to be coming at them as the season goes on.
Yeah, definitely. Mary Richardson moving to the back is really been helping the Centralia defense. They had a preseason game against Warner Pacific University where they lost, I believe it was 10-0, 10-1, can't remember well. But, I think at that time, that's when Coach Malina was like, okay, we're going to need some speed and some experience here. With only Kelsey Asselton coming back from last year's defense team, it makes it a lot harder for everybody to adapt and learn a new position quick, like Courtney Moore coming back and playing in the back when she was forward in high school. So there's a lot of players playing at a position that they just got to adapt, and it's taking them a little longer than they thought it would.
Yeah, trying to get back into those positions that you're not necessarily it's not necessarily what you play naturally, but it's what you need to help the team out to play, what your skill set is, where you can help out your team the best on the field, and that's what position you should play. At your club in high school, that was great that you played that, but this is a different level, and usually the coaches know better at where you're supposed to play talent-wise.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be very interesting, like I said, like you just mentioned. Centralia can make a run right now and, maybe make a late run to the playoffs, maybe sneak in there. But it's going to be tough because they also have Highline coming up again and Tacoma once again, I believe. And that's just some hard teams that are on top of the table right now.
That is all right. They are about to do announcements, so let's go over they're about to announce lineups, and let's go over these starters for the visiting Centralia College Blazers. They start in goal, Emily Hudson. The defenders will be Courtney Moore, Kelsey Asselton, Mary Richardson, and Nareda Soto. Midfield, Stephanie Cifuentes, Sydney Rees, Leanne Panacone, Kalia Dowes in the midfield, and forwards Natalie Coleman and Jocelyn Lindsay. For the Chokers of Grays Harbor, they start in goal, Jenna Dumont. Defenders are Alicia Cervantes, Perla Hernandez, Hannah Quinn, Amanda Brott, and Megan Ald. Midfielders Ashley Marshall, Gabby Vasquez, and Judy Renteria. And the forwards are Taylor Housden and Brittany Wright. Housden, coming out of Aberdeen, is the player to watch. She has 2 of the 3 goals scored on the season for the Chokers.
Yeah, and, like you said, they might not be scoring a lot of goals, but that doesn't mean that you can just, not pay attention to those players, because some of those players can make a difference anytime in the season.
Yeah, that's one that they're playing with 5 on the back line, really shoring up that defense, trying to stop them, other teams from scoring on them so much. So playing with more players back there, it'll be more of a counterattack, over-the-top style of offense, which is kind of what Aberdeen plays as a high school program. So Housden, coming out of that with Megan Ald and Amanda Brott, are all used to that kind of style. All right, that will do it for the pregame show. When we come back, it'll be game time between the Centralia Blazers and the Grays Harbor Chokers. Back after this on the Eli Sports Network.
The pregame show is a wrap, and it's time to kick off. Up next, live play-by-play soccer action is on the Eli Sports Network.
Good Health Nutrition Center in Centralia is your home base for nutrition. When you visit Good Health Nutrition Center, you'll find the largest selection of vitamins, supplements, and natural remedies. You may be surprised to also find a huge selection of healthy groceries such as gluten-free products, environmentally friendly products, organic fruits and vegetables, and items for specific diets like the diabetic diet. Good Health Nutrition Center, powering students and athletes from the inside out. Good Health Nutrition Center on Harrison in Centralia.
When is the right time to make a move? It's always the biggest question many have when it comes to finances. Your biggest investment, your home, can be the source of extra cash you could use right now. Or maybe it's not the right time to refinance. Get your questions answered from the pros at Mortgage One Northwest in Hawks Prairie. Mortgage One Northwest gives you straight answers so you can make the best decision. Your friend in the mortgage business is Mortgage One Northwest. And MLS 82426.
The Pacific Athletic Center is excited about the expansion of our Express basketball teams, featuring 5th through 8th grade and high school girls teams and boys teams. Players for the Express receive exposure to the highest level of competition, our dedicated practice facility, individual training, and coaching from our experienced staff, plus top-of-the-line gear, and for parents, affordable pricing and scholarships. Check out the Pac Express at PacificAthleticCenter.com.
The teams are set, the referees in place, and the fans on the edge of their seats. So let's kick this game off. Get set, because here we go. Live soccer action is on now.
And welcome back here to Stewart Field in Aberdeen. Tony Diville here with Noel Vasquez and Paul Beatty running the board for us. Grays Harbor and the Centralia Blazers in girls soccer action about to be underway. The Centralia Blazers will be in the all-blue uniforms with the gold numbers, and the Chokers will be in their white tops, blue numbers, blue shorts for them. Looks a lot like the home jerseys for the Centralia Blazers. Should be interesting. Keepers, the keeper for the Chokers, Jenna Dumont, will be in orange, and the Blazers keeper will be in all pink. That is Emily Henderson. Also, if you are listening on the Eli Sports Network, you can check out our Twitter stream. We are live video from Twitter through Periscope, and also a live video through YouTube, so you can check out either one of those. They are free. This is a free option for anybody to look at, or to watch the game rather than just to listen to my awesome, amazing voice. As we are about ready to get underway here, the Centralia Blazers are lined up in their huddle talking to Coach Horst Mallion, the head coach for the Grays Harbor Chokers is Ian Connell. And here come the Chokers out onto the field. Blazers still yet to break their huddle as the officials get ready to go to all of their positions. It's nice here. We have the scoreboard right there. Can actually see it. Perfect. Good numbers on jerseys. Always nice to see when you're trying to broadcast a game.
Yeah, and it's they're good uniforms for the Centralia Trailblazers. They have nice uniforms, Nike, and I think the Adna Pirates just copy their same away uniforms So that'd be interesting.
The Lower Columbia game, they had the exact same uniforms as the home Black Hills uniforms. They are the away Black Hills uniforms, the faded blue down to red. They had the exact same ones. It was kind of odd because we had just done the Black Hills game the night before, so it was kind of weird. And I kept on calling the Blazers the Tigers. Ball goes back. Blazers will start off with the opening possession. Fanacone gets it over to Cifuentes, goes back to the back line, trying to get a long lead pass to Dowse. That'll go to the back line of the Blazers. They'll try to set up on the attacking third of the field. They'll play it back again to the back line. Richardson switches over to Azleton. Azleton quickly up to Jocelyn Lindsay. Jocelyn, long lead pass up. Jocelyn will run it down, has room to work down the near sideline. Jocelyn trying to get by one defender, goes into the box, goes one-on-one, shot will be scooped up by Dumont, the keeper for the Chokers, but immediately with a big run on and a shot on goal for Jocelyn Lindsay just 41 seconds into this match.
Yeah, and I think that's what Coach wants him to do. I think he wants to win this game in the first half if possible, and he's going to pressure hard to keep possession of the ball at all times.
Ball will be knocked out of bounds by Judy Renteria. And there are a few of the players that if you listen to our normal broadcast, our high school broadcast, you'll recognize some of these names from both sides. Chokers have a few players from Monty, 3 players from Aberdeen, a few players from Hoquiam as well. So we have covered all of those schools. So if anybody sounds familiar, we've probably done a few of their games before. Here's another long run for the Blazers. This one gets cut off. Coleman was trying to run over the middle of the field. Azleton tries to get it back to Jocelyn Lindsay. That'll go out of play, and Kelsey will come and grab this ball. Azleton, Panacone right back to Kelsey. Lobs one high to Jocelyn Lindsay, chests it forward, blocked by Panacone, trying to squirt her way through. Blocked again by Lindsay, goes back to Panacone. Leanne gets it across the field towards Sydney Reeves. Too long for Sydney to run that one down. It'll be a throw-in opposite side of the field to Grays Harbor.
And it'll take a while for Sydney Reeves to get used to playing on the field since the whole first half of the season she was pretty much the goalkeeper. In the meantime, Emily Henderson was getting back to top form, which I think, to my opinion right now, she's probably your number one either way. But, you know, with Sydney on the field, I think they bring a little extra touch. She's not the fastest, but she's pretty smart with the ball.
She's really smart on the ball, and she doesn't get bumped off the ball as a midfield forward type player. She holds a possession well for the Blazers, as she's a bigger body player that can be out there. That, and she has some playing experience with both of the Lindsays, Sam and Jocelyn, who are playing as forwards. So that helps out as well because they have that long history of playing with each other from high school and now into college. This ball will roll down the far sideline and be kept in play. Cifuentes trying to get onto it. That ball will be played out of bounds by the Chokers. As we are getting Windows messages, that is what that noise was. Throw in will come for the Blazers on the far side of the field. Nareda Soto will throw in. Nareda, one of the local players closer to where I live in Centralia. She's a WF West graduate. Soto, throw in, goes to the middle of the field, pushed towards Cifuentes. It'll get by the middle of the field. Azleton in a rundown trying to outrun Hannah Quinn. She'll just get there in time to knock it out and let the back line regroup for the Blazers. Quinn will throw in. No, she will not. She will toss it over to Brittany Wright, who will throw in. Wright throws it backwards. Ball goes straight into the air and out of play. Back over to the Chokers. Looks like coming over to throw in will be Megan Ald. And Ald will throw in. We are 4.5 minutes in, no score. Blazers and Chokers. Ball played to the middle of the field, fronting it down as Panacone She'll swing it over towards Soto. Soto trying to run it down. Soto will get by the defender, makes a long run down the far sideline. Nareda Soto. And that ball will get knocked out of bounds off the foot of one of the Grays Harbors players. And Soto throws in quickly. Ball cleared up the field, turning on it, gets it up to Judy Renteria. Renteria goes to Taylor Housden. Housden, long pass forward, is cut off by Panacone. Leanne will have it back. Sidesteps one. Play over towards Cifuentes. And Cifuentes trying to win that ball back. Stephanie couldn't quite get onto it. Housden will have it. Housden plays back to the middle of the field. That's Old laying one over the top, and Hernandez will come out and scoop that one up. Or that's Henderson, Emily Henderson with the scoop, the keeper for the Blazers.
Yeah, last year the Chokers actually had this girl named Mary Davis. She's from Acosta, and she's actually one of the fastest forwards that I seen play, and actually coached against her and her team a couple of years ago. And one of the things that the Grace Harbor team used to do was play it wide to her, and she will always get there. It's pretty surprising to me not to see her on the roster since she was only a freshman last year.
Maybe that she played well enough that she got a bigger offer from a bigger school. That could be one of those. As there was a little miscommunication on that back line, but by Henderson, wasn't sure if she should come out or not, and it almost cost them a big opportunity, but it'll be a free kick given to the Blazers of Centralia. Ball goes to the middle of the field. Tap forward towards Jocelyn Lindsay. That'll be cut off and go to Renteria. No, that wasn't Renteria. That was Brittany Wright. Ball over to Panacone. Her pass forward is cut off, but now she'll cross the side of the field to Sydney Rees. Rees will step over. Rees still with it. Goes back to Leanne Panacone. Panacone gets to Jocelyn Lindsay. Sidesteps one. Taps too far ahead of herself. Gets cut off. Azelton trying to run it down. Azelton jumps in front of Ashley Marshall. Her pass is cut off. Nicely done by Mary Richardson. Housden trying to get by this back line. Taylor gets tripped up. Trying to get everybody forward is Soto Nareda with a long pass forward. That'll go off of a defender of the Chokers. Intended for Coleman down that far sideline. Dow's knees it forward. Everybody's slow to react. Dow's trying to run onto it. That ball was a slow roller. Didn't look like it was going to go out for anything, and now it'll go out for a throw-in for the Blazers. It didn't have enough speed on it to go across the end line, and everybody was slow jogging to it. Soto will throw in on the far sideline. Nareda puts a throw into the middle of the box. Nobody there. Header goes backwards off the head of Cifuentes. Lead pass up to Housden. Housden on the run, trying to go sideline to sideline. Jocelyn Lindsay catches up. Lindsay will cut her off and plays it back to Mary Richardson. Taps it to herself and then clears to the middle of the field. Ald will play it forward towards Renteria. There's going to be a free kick to the Blazers. Richardson takes it quickly up to Panacone. Panacone, long lead pass. Jocelyn Lindsay will have it. Lindsay trying to get a cross in, and that'll go out of play. Back line playing well. Perla Hernandez is the one to clear that one out.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm starting to notice is how Jocelyn Lindsay is trying to find her teammates on top of the box and try to give a nice pass on the turf. But, you know, she's been out for quite a few games, so it's going to take her a little while to get used to game speed and, you know, playing along her teammates on a real game instead of just scrimmages.
Panacone tried to swing one into the middle of the field. Long pass up, intended for Housden, cut off on the back line, trying to get onto it. That is going to be Courtney Moore. Cross middle of the field, nobody there. Passed in by Hannah Quinn, but nobody trailing. And then there's a bad pass by Soto. Soto tried to play it through to one of the backline players. Cutting that off was Judy Renteria, and then Soto was able to hold her ground and get the ball back. Ball to the far sideline. Coleman trying to work it down. Trying to keep it alive. Can't. Pass it out of play. Looking for a quick throw in, doesn't take it. Instead, it'll go to Renteria. Judy turns. That ball will go back out of play off of Grays Harbor.
Yeah, one of the things like we just saw a moment ago, Soto making that bad pass and then getting it back, trying to clear again and got back to Grace Harbor. I think that's been part of the problem that Centralia has this year, just, clearing the ball or just communicating to see who's going to go get it. And then you start noticing that when they can't get the ball, the midfields like Leanne or Stephanie Cifuentes start dropping because they get a little desperate that the ball's not getting out from the backfield. And that's costing them because when they drop, and they get possession of the ball, there's no one on the midfield to receive the ball and start a play moving forward.
This ball passed in. Nobody there for the Chokers. Closest player to that was Taylor Housden. Ball will come up the near sideline. Lindsay trying to keep it in. Can't quite get onto it. But yeah, as you're saying, though, with players playing out of position and not what they played in on as high school players, Nareda Soto was a lot of the offense for the WF West Bearcats when she played on there. She played very well in the game the other day against Lower Columbia as a backline player. That's a new role for her that I've seen, and she does play well on the back line, but saw the little inexperience on the back line trying to play the ball to the middle of the field, and it got cut off by one of the forwards. Azleton to throw in on the near sideline. Kelsey, throw in, goes to Renteria, cut off though by Leanne Panacone. Cifuentes trying to turn and lead it up the field. Brittany Wright cuts that off. Cifuentes comes right back to it. Stephanie has Coleman. Coleman into the box going through, but she is offside, was Coleman. Just a step offside. And it'll be a free kick to the Chokers. They'll play it back, or they'll have trouble corralling the ball. Ashley Marshall will be the one to take it. Marshall lets everybody settle and get forward. Keeps it low. Ball will bounce around midfield. Cifuentes trying to spin, loses where the ball is on the field, and coming up to get it was Ashley Marshall. Up towards Housden. Housden waited for the ball to get to her. Ball still on the back line. Housden coming out of the pack with it. Housden has a player moving forward. Cross goes over the head of Soto, and a not great shot came off of the foot of Renteria, trying to play it out of the air with the right foot.
Yeah, and as you can see, that was Mary Richardson who came out, tried to cut the pass. She did that well, but then her back line didn't close enough and took over her spot. And then the ball bounced off her leg, went back to Grace Harbor player where she got that cross. So it's little things like that that's been hurting the Trailblazers. Get something together in the back, the miscommunication, the not talking loud enough or just not understanding the position. It's something that this team has been working on all year long.
Sub came in for Grays Harbor. Taylor Birdsall checked in for Alicia Cervantes. The ball is at the middle of the field. Sydney Rees will have it on the far side now. Swung over from Jocelyn Lindsay. Ball played back to the keeper. Keeper lets it go through her legs and saves it on the line. Knew she couldn't pick it up. Made a wise decision. Shot comes in from Coleman. Blocked by the keeper's knee. Ball still up for grabs. Shot coming high. Keeper will let it go over her head and Dumont. But that was one that it almost was a horrible mistake by Dumont. Went down to pick the ball up on a ball played back by one of her backline players. She made the stop, but almost let it roll through because she knew she couldn't pick that ball up. Grays Harbor with it, trying to clear it out of their defensive third, and they'll play it out of bounds. Jocelyn Lindsay will scoop it up, and Azleton will throw it in. Kelsey. Throw in towards Panacone. Thought someone was going to be running on. Nobody was. This ball played high into the air. Renteria knocks it down. Turns, clears up the field. Richardson will get there. Mary. Panacone will clear it to the opposite side. Goes to Nareda Soto in the middle of the field. Her pass forward is blocked by Gabby Vasquez. Vasquez on a long run. Keeps it in play. Goes back to Birdsall. Taken right back, though, by the Blazers. And there's a shove in the back. Played back quickly by Panacone. Leanne gets it to Nareda Soto on the far sideline. Goes right back to Leanne. She's dispossessed now. Birdsall sidesteps Soto, cuts her off. And that'll go back to Courtney Moore. Moore will set up. Goes to Cifuentes. Oh, no, that's Soto. Back to Nareda, and she'll clear it up the field. Coleman heads it forward. Coleman still trying to split defenders, get onto it, and that'll be cleared out by Ashley Marshall of Grays Harbor. Throw in coming for Nareda Soto on the far sideline. Chip forward. Soto will run it back down. Goes to Cifuentes. Cifuentes keeps it low. Goes to Jocelyn Lindsay. Great move, Lindsay. Trying to get around the second defender. Got a little heel click through. Stops, turns. Lindsay still on it. Gets by the defender. Lindsay's cross. Trying to find the foot of Coleman. Turns, and that'll go out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Blazers. As the post is in the way, you can still see Coleman turn and take her shot on it. You couldn't see Jocelyn Lindsay's little cross in there. We've been dealing with post all season. And a low kick on the goal kick will come out to Renteria. Blocked by Coleman. Came running in. That ball got played back towards Amanda Brott. And Coleman looks like she took the brunt of that. She'll walk it off, though. Renteria will throw in. Judy goes off the head of Cifuentes. Poked forward to Panacone. Panacone, it'll go off of her. Back towards Richardson. Comes and cuts the ball off. Richardson gets around one, plays it back to Azleton. Azleton clears up to Renteria. Renteria trying to get around Dowse. On the near side. Step over by Hannah Quinn. Looking for some kind of help, trying to stay in the middle third of the field at least. Clearance is cleared as blocked by the Blazers. A long pass up the field towards Coleman. And you can hear the Centralia Blazers coaching staff telling them, stop being so direct. You're going to have to flank it in and get the crossing. The crossing has worked so far. It's just been the finishing that hasn't worked out for them.
Yeah, and they had many opportunities, like you said. Jocelyn Lindsay getting those crosses down on the inside the 18, right inside the 6 too, and no one's been able to tap those in.
Throw in coming for the Chokers. As we are in the 18th minute, no score between Grays Harbor and Centralia. Centralia trying to change that here. Dowse will get it right back, trying to thread a needle. And that'll go off the foot of Dowse and out for a throw-in for Grays Harbor. Chokers to throw in. Down the field. Cut off by the Blazers. Still with it. Trying to get behind the official was Cifuentes. Azleton will push it forward. Coleman trying to run onto it. And this one will go out of play. Throw in coming for the Blazers, and Azleton will throw in. Kelsey. Throw in. Renteria will get there. Cifuentes taps it over her head, gets it to Jocelyn Lindsay, who taps it to herself, sidesteps the defender. Lindsay's cross goes all the way over and played back to Nareda Soto. That was Sydney Reeves that settled that one. Soto's clearance forward gets cut off, trying to win the ball back away from Housen. Housen, long lead pass. Mary Richardson running on and will shield off the defender and will allow Emily Henderson, the keeper for the Blazers, to scoop that one up.
Yeah, but I think that back pass and the bad touch and moving the ball forward and just pretty much left Centralia College out of position. Everybody was moving up the ball when Jocelyn was dribbling up the field. So then all of a sudden they get this counterattack that if it wasn't because Mary's speed on the center back, I think that forward for Grace Harbor would have gotten there, maybe have a one-on-one.
Lindsay trying to run onto this ball. She'll get there. Jocelyn sidesteps one, looking for a shot. She'll take a low line drive shot. The keeper will make the save, go sliding onto it. Was Dumont. She will take the drop kick. That'll go off the head of Renteria. Now it's a rundown. Richardson will let it keep on rolling. That'll go way too far for anybody to get there, and Emily Henderson picks it up at the top of the box. Good drop kick by Henderson. Knocked down by Old. Goes back to Lindsay. Lindsay, long lead pass, trying to get an overlap from Azleton. And this ball will be played off of Kelsey's leg, and she'll sprint back to the back line now. She'll switch back with Lindsay, and there'll be a sub made. Going out is going to be Brittany Wright. Checking right back in will be Alicia Cervantes.
And you look at the Grace Harbor Chokers roster, and they only have like 2 subs. So, I think this girl's been in shape. It plays a big part of why right now the score is 0-0, because you see Centralia's moving the ball well and, tired them out. But for some reason, somehow, the Chokers are actually being able to catch up with them, play some decent defense, and keeping the score 0-0.
Nareda Soto with a nutmeg gets it into the middle of the field to Panacone. Panacone, lead pass, goes towards Sydney Rees. Rees looking for that cross, stops, turns, ball gets poked out, nicely done by Perla Hernandez to get there and clear that one out. Throw in coming. Nareda Soto will throw in. Nareda towards Panacone. Leanne trying to cross it. Does get the cross in. Header goes off the post and in. That is Panacone to Cifuentes in the 22nd minute. Leanne gets the assist. Cifuentes gets the goal.
And it's like I was talking about in the pregame show. It usually took Centralia about 20 minutes to finally get things going against Grace Harbor. Last time they played each other, that opened the door. So that might be the case here too.
Yeah, Panacone with that great play on the sideline, able to keep the ball in play, chipped it back over everybody. And Cifuentes goes opposite post, bounces it off the inside, and it rolls just across the line for the first goal of the game. Centralia goes up 1-0 with 22 minutes left to play. Richardson runs this ball down, plays it to the far sideline to Nareda Soto. Soto turns, and that ball will go out of play. Throw in for the Chokers. Cifuentes will throw in, or Cervantes will throw in on the far sideline for Grace Harbor. That ball will go out of play. Throw in coming for the Chokers. Going over to throw in now will be Gabby Vasquez. She'll throw it backwards to Housden. That'll be cut off by Panacone and cleared up by Nareda Soto. Up towards Jocelyn Lindsay, who heads it forward, trying to lead Dowse, who had a full head of steam. That ball got sent high into the air. Dowse will tap it around one, trying to run into the box to get there. But first will be Jenna Dumont. That was a good play that time by Ashley Marshall to get up and run that ball down. Ball headed back by the Blazers up to Jocelyn Lindsay. Stops, turns. Jocelyn, top corner, trying to cross it to Sydney Rees. She'll put a knee on it forward, but it goes too far ahead, and Dumont will scoop that.
If she was able to pull that one down, it would have been a one-on-one and probably the second goal of the game.
Yeah, Sydney Rees has a strong foot. She wasn't necessarily a huge scorer in high school, but she didn't have a ton of opportunities because she had that player that's on the ball now, Jocelyn Lindsay, on it. And Jocelyn is the, I believe, all-time leading scorer in Black Hills high school history for soccer players. So that's one player that they really focused on at Black Hills. Ball up the field, which I believe she might have not be that anymore. I think Sydney Lowe is at least putting pressure on her for the all-time lead in goals scored. Ball up the field, Mary Richardson trying to tap it around one, trying to get around Auld. Richardson and Auld both tipping the ball back and forth. Soto gets a long clearance. Coleman trying to run it down, but getting there first will be Perla Hernandez. That ball will go out off of Perla, so it'll be a throw-in for the Blazers. 20 minutes to go in the first half. Centralia leads 1-0 over Grays Harbor. Nareda Soto will run up to throw in. Dowles will lose it in the air, but that'll be crossed by Panacone up to Cifuentes, trying to play it out of the air, but she'll go wide. That one took an odd hop right in front of her. She planted, but that ball bounced or skidded to her instead of bounced right in front of her and got too far under it. Dumont will take the goal kick. She'll back up. Plays it to the middle of the field. That'll go to Panacone. To Jocelyn Lindsay. Steps forward. Lindsay trying to get through traffic. That'll end up with Cifuentes. Pushed back by Panacone. And that'll go over to Moore. Courtney to Rees. Rees can't keep it in play. That ball will go out for a throw-in for Grays Harbor. Cervantes will throw in. She'll go short to Gabby Vasquez. Long ball down the sideline again, and that'll go out for a throw-in for the Blazers. And again, Nareda Soto will come down the field to throw in. That'll go off the head of Dowse. It'll get by Coleman. Coleman will keep up with the play. Ball will come into the box. Keeper will come out, and Dumont will make the scoop. Dumont, drop kick towards the sideline, headed to the middle of the field by Centralia. Jocelyn Lindsay cuts back middle of the field. Long lead pass, nice lead pass to Sydney Rees. Rees stops, turns, plays it back to Panacone. That'll go to Coleman. Squirts through. No, that was Dowse. Panacone right back on it. Over to Jocelyn Lindsay. Dribbles through. Gets it towards Cifuentes. And that'll be pushed out of bounds by the back line of Grays Harbor. Throw in coming for the Blazers. Throwing in will be Kelsey Azelton. Azelton will have it. Throw in. Panacone flicks it backwards. Ball up for grabs. Push to the near sideline. It'll be another throw in. Azelton with another long run to run this ball down. And she will throw in. Kelsey. Everybody in motion for the Blazers. Goes to, that would be Jocelyn Lindsay. This ball sent to the middle of the field. Nareda Soto trying to run it down before Housden can get there. Housden will get there first. Taps it to herself. Housden gets around Soto. Housden, long lead pass cut off for the moment, but right back onto it is Grays Harbor trying to get an equalizer here. This ball cleared out. That'll go to Dowse. Knocked forward by Cervantes. Dowse taps to Lindsay up the near sideline. Jocelyn looking to run. She's got Coleman on the near side. Pass forward up to Coleman. And Coleman is offside. Flag goes up. Free kick coming for the Chokers. Gonna take it is Amanda Brott. Trot will back up. Low line drive. Azleton pushes it towards the near sideline to Jocelyn Lindsay. Lindsay tried to go 1-on-3. She'll split all three. Goes middle of the field. Tap back. Goes to Cifuentes. Over to Nareda Soto on an overlap from Rees. Gets it up to Fanacone. She'll keep it in play. On the far sideline. Ball still in. And Leanne will get it back to Soto. Nareda to Rees. Back to Leanne. Long pass forward to Coleman. Coleman has players running forward, trying to pass it into Dow's, and that ball will be cleared out. Played it right into the knee of the defender. Moore trying to get a run on. This ball will be played a long way up, and that'll go too long. Anybody there, and Henderson will scoop it up. That was just one of those that you hope that the ball slows down somehow, and one of your players can run onto it.
Yeah, and I think what Grace Harbor is trying to do is trying to get Mary out of position because they know that Mary is their strongest center back at the moment. If they get out of position, they're always trying to look for that split where she's not where she's supposed to be, and then look for that forward on that run. And we've seen it a couple times. Every time Mary goes up and Grace Harbor gets possession of the ball, the first thing they look to do is look at that gap that Mary left behind so they can put the ball through.
Jocelyn Lindsay, yeah, that's one that they're looking to get by that back line and really pressure them by passing these balls forward. Player will go out. That is going to be Taylor Birdsall. Will check out. Checking right back in will be Brittany Wright. Throw in coming for the Chokers. I'll go to Ald. Ald down the field. Richardson will get by her. She'll tap it to herself. To the near sideline to Azleton. Kelsey to Cifuentes. Tap pass to Fanacone. Up to Rees. Rees, long lead pass to Coleman. Coleman a little too long for her, but that ball will be played out off the foot of Perla Hernandez.
Yeah, and I think Centralia's playing with more of a purpose now that since they scored that first goal, I think they picked up on the passing game and a little bit more and better communication in the back too.
Yeah, the short passing game has really picked up. Everybody flocking to a spot where they're supposed to be on the field, not just to the ball. And this ball will come from Nareda Soto. Long lead pass in, scooped up easily by Dumont. Dumont will take the drop kick. Centralia has yet to make a sub in this match. This ball sent over the top. Richardson looking to run it down, trying to get around Housden. She will. She'll clear it lefty. Ball back up. Played forward, cut off. Soto trying to run it down. Housden will turn. Gets it towards Ald. Ald will have it. Ald with a shot from deep, and Henderson will have that. Megan just couldn't get that one with enough leg on it. And this drop kick will come to the near sideline. Jocelyn Lindsay will juggle it around. She'll have it. Plays it to Coleman. Coleman will lose the possession. And that'll go back to the middle of the field to Hernandez. Perla gets it up. Long pass towards Housden, and she is offside. Flag goes up. Free kick coming. And the keeper almost made a huge mistake as there was an advantage called. She didn't realize that they waved off the flag, and she just rolled it forward. Had to come out and make a play on it. This one will come back to Richardson. Richardson, tap forward, goes over towards Cifuentes. Cifuentes, ball will be poked away from her and goes up the far side of the field. Trying to run onto that was Hernandez. And it'll be a throw-in. Nareda Soto for Centralia. Soto down the far sideline. That'll take a tip off of one of the Grays Harbors players. And a throw-in coming for the Blazers. Down the sideline, headed forward by Dow's. Nobody in the area that time. Back up towards Coleman. And Hernandez will clear that one again. Throw-in coming for the Blazers. Ball headed right back towards Soto and goes right back out of play. Nareda will throw right back in. Off the head of Coleman. Coleman trying to clear it back. That'll come out and go out of play. Back over to the Blazers again. Moore let it go out of play. Throw in. Cleared down the field. Nobody in the area for Grays Harbor. Richardson with a nice play. Leads up to Azleton. Azleton to Jocelyn Lindsay. Jocelyn still with it. Play back to Richardson. Richardson centers to Panacone. Gets by one. Pass forward towards Dow's. Cut off. And cleared up the field by Renteria. Richardson with a long run. Up to Panacone. Towards Coleman. Coleman will have a straightaway one-on-one. Coleman into the box. Coleman right into the keeper. Can't convert. This ball is blocked out. Back line trying to clear. Still for the Blazers, and that ball will be cleared down the field. Coleman, you can't get much easier than that, but she shot it right at the keeper instead of trying to go to one of the low corners. Jocelyn Lindsay trying to blow by the defender. She will get by one. Takes a shot that goes wide, trying to go opposite post. No good.
Yeah, and definitely that's one of those that you got to put in the back of the net. There's not much of an excuse there besides the fact that the ball might have gotten away from you. But besides that, Leanne couldn't put a best ball in front of the goalie like that. And
yeah, it was a nice lead pass, slow roll, able for her to run onto it. It was right in the right spot that the keeper either had to make a demanding move up top and try to make herself big and win that right away, or step back and let her defense come back and make sure that she played her line very well. A couple of subs get up to check in for the Blazers. Birdsall checked in for Housden right before that last goal kick. Henderson will come out and scoop this ball up for the Blazers. Ball knocked down. Cifuentes can't get there. Ball sent forward by Moore. Dow's trying to run it down. Dow's trying to get around Hernandez. Perla thought she tapped it out off of Dow's. It will not go off of Perla. It will go off out of Dow's. Middle of the field, Coleman trying to cut off the ball. And this ball goes out of bounds. Or no, it'll be a free kick to Grays Harbor. Jokers down the field. Goes towards Coleman. It'll get by everybody on the back line, and that'll go off of Hernandez. Takes an odd chip and rolls backward. Had some backspin on it. Then Hernandez is able to clear it out. Throw in coming for the Blazers. Subs checking in as well. Going out. Not sure who all is going out. Looks like Coleman and Dow's will check out. Checking in. We don't have a number 5 for the Blazers. Ball to the middle of the field. Chipped forward and intended for Cervantes. That got cut off, and the ball will go out of bounds. So Keely Thomas is number 5. She checks in. She's one of the extra keepers, but now she's a field player. And Megan Rorda in as well. Rorda, who started the last game, a normal starter for the Blazers, trying to get something different going. This one comes in towards Thomas. Thomas trying to get there, and this one will go out for a throw-in for the Blazers as they were trying to lead Keely Thomas. Soto will throw in with just about 5 minutes to go in the first half. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Throw in coming from Nareda. Soto The Blazers lead 1-0 after a 22nd minute goal by Stephanie Cifuentes off of a nice pass from Panacone, who went to the end line and was able to chip it back over everything. Header goes opposite post off the inside, and Panacone will take this free kick towards Jocelyn Lindsay. Over her head, back it goes, chip shot up and right into the hands of the keeper. Trying to play it in was Rorda, but just got a heel on it, and it was a slow chip right to the hands of Dumont. Jokers will have it on that far sideline. Turn, play it back to the back line. Blazers trying to press, and this ball will go out of play. Throw in for the Blazers on the far sideline. Thrown in quickly. That'll go right back out, and Nareda Soto will go up to throw in again. Soto will throw in as it looks like Housden will check in. Next opportunity for Grays Harbor. Ball in the middle of the box, dribbling through traffic. Ball poked forward. That'll go back to the Blazers, though. Sydney Rees towards Soto, and that was Soto running away from the ball. Wasn't expecting the pass over to her. She was trying to get back to her defensive spot. Hannah Quinn will check out. Housden will check in. Throw in goes right to Housden. She'll turn, tries to go 1-on-4. She'll keep the possession alive, but looking up the field, Rorda will cut her off. Back to Jocelyn Lindsay. Stop, hesitation, long lead pass to Keely Thomas. Thomas looking to play one in, and that'll be a slow roller right to the keeper in Dumont. And Chinna will have the drop kick to the near sideline. Azleton puts a shin on it, but that goes out of play. Throw in over to Grays Harbor. And it'll be Megan Auld coming back to throw in. Auld has the ball. Throw in towards Renteria, headed forward by Leanne Panacone. Cifuentes up to Panacone, over the top to Jocelyn Lindsay. Lindsay trying to run into the box, trying to tap it to herself. She will. She'll take a shot, but that'll go behind the goal. We saw that in the last game against Lower Columbia, where she took those shots early on, and then later in the second half, she started floating them over to the back post, trying to open up players so that the defenders would suck in on her and allow someone to come in on the back line and maybe get a header in.
Yeah, and with the amount of through balls that she has put, like Jocelyn and Leanne have put, perfect balls down the middle of the field for players to finish them up. At some point, these two players get a little frustrated and start taking their own shots when the other teammates are not finishing up the plays.
There's 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Ball will go out of play over the leg of the intended target, but it'll chip off of one of the Blazers. Throw in coming on the near side of the field, and Auld will throw in. No, it will be Brittany Wright throwing in. She'll throw in to Auld. Auld tried to back down Rorda. She'll still keep it over there. Back to Panacone. Back middle of the field. Cifuentes. Stephanie is, it looks like, switching sides is Jocelyn Lindsay. This ball will roll a long way down the field. Tapping it to herself is the keeper in Dumont. She will look to drop kick this one down the field with about a minute to play. Centralia leading 1-0 on Grays Harbor. About a minute to go in the first half. Lots of players running up to the ball. Keeper will get blocked. That ball will roll back and out of play. Is that going to be a goal kick? It will be, as coming up was Dumont to clear it. and it goes off of it. Looked like Keely Thomas. Free kick coming, or goal kick coming, cut off by Jocelyn Lindsay. Lindsay coming back to it, tries to center it. Ald will try to clear. Back goes Houston to the far side of the field. Blazers will get called for a foul. Free kick coming for the Chokers. As we are running down on time, shouldn't be too much stoppage, as we are in the 45th minute right now. Kick goes up the field, headed backwards. Richardson doesn't get a great clearance, and that will be halftime. At the half, it is Centralia 1 and Grays Harbor 0. We'll be back to talk about that more on the Eli Sports Network for the halftime show here. And when we come back,
former athlete, or suffering from athletic-type injuries? Then you need to stop by Pacific Sports Spa and check out the most cutting-edge therapy equipment assembled in one place in all of the Pacific Northwest. Pacific Sports Spa can help you deal with the pain and soreness of sprains, inflammation, or stiff joints and muscles. Check out the services offered by Pacific Sports Spa on their website at pacificsportspa.com. Pacific Sports Spa is an athlete's best friend.
Pacific Mobile Structures are big supporters of kids and athletics. Pacific Mobile Structures is the leader in temporary structures. If you are in need of temporary office space on a work site or for overflow space, or if your building is in need of major renovation, Pacific Mobile Structures can keep your company at work. Pacific Mobile Structures has a wide variety of square footage to fit your needs, and the structures do not have to be temporary. Pacific Mobile Structures can also offer you permanent space for a fraction of the cost to build your own. Go online to check out Pacific Mobile Structures.
The Port of Centralia is a local leader in bringing new family wage jobs to Southwest Washington. The Port of Centralia Board of Commissioners is proud to support the local businesses like the Eli Sports Network and our local kids. There is no doubt our future leaders are those that can commit, are dedicated, and self-motivated. The Port of Centralia believes high school sports is a great way to develop those skills. Best of luck, athletes, from the Port of Centralia.
Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey has made a huge name in training young athletes. But Proactive is much more than that and caters to all individuals coming back from any type of injury. If you have injured yourself and you need to get back in the game, or simple day-to-day life activities, call Proactive Physical Therapy today for an appointment and start your way back to feeling good. Proactive Physical Therapy accepts all insurance, car insurance, workers' comp, Medicare, and VA. You owe it to yourself to feel good and productive. So contact Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey.
It's time for break as both teams head to the locker room to talk things over. We're also going to talk things over with the Port of Centralia halftime show. Let's head back to the stadium for stats and highlights here on the Eli Sports Network.
And welcome back to Stewart Field here in Aberdeen. Paul Beatty along with Tony Davila and Noel Vasquez. Noel to the sidelines as he also helps out with the Centralia Blazers soccer team as well. As Tony, you got a chance to call the first half here. What did you see? What are your observations?
The Blazers have had a lot of opportunities getting the ball in the center of the field. They've had really good play-through balls that just aren't being finished so far. It is a 1-0 game after the Panacone run to the far end line. She's able to chip it over everybody and find the head of Stephanie Cifuentes. Cifuentes plays it off the opposite post, bounces off the inside, and rolls across the inside of the goal for the 1-0 lead. But so far it's been all Blazers trying to work the ball forward. A couple of opportunities for the Chokers, but Taylor Houston is the lone player that's playing up. And the Blazers know that, so they've just been double covering her and making sure that she doesn't get by them or beat them. They're going to have somebody, the Chokers are, help run with Housden, be it somebody that just needs to get down the field with her so she has another option to play it to whenever she does get down the field. A couple of mental mistakes by both sides, almost a very dangerous play by Emily Henderson, the keeper for the Blazers. It was an offside flag went up for a second, and then the official said it was an advantage to Centralia that they didn't need the offside, that the ball was never touched by the offensive player at that point. So Henderson had it and then just rolled the ball in front of her thinking that it was going to be a free kick. And instead, she had to make a play on the ball, had to run forward and get there before Taylor Housden could get there and take a shot on goal, because that was one that could have been very dangerous for the Blazers and could have been the equalizer easily for the Chokers.
Well, my observations, again, I circle the field down and take sideline pictures. But my observations, Tony, is that the Blazers did not come out with a lot of energy here, and the Chokers really did. Is the first 10 to 15 minutes, most of that was played on the Centralia side of the 50 there. There were a few opportunities, but Centralia came out a bit lackadaisical, I think.
And that's one thing that Noel pointed out during the game, is that the Blazers, they seem to get off to these slow starts for some reason. He said it before they scored. He said about the 20-minute mark is where they finally get their legs under them and they're done feeling out a team, and then they get things together, and then they scored in the 22nd. So it kind of rings true. That seems to be a trend that's going on with the Blazers, is that they're a slow starting team, and it takes them about a half of a half to get their legs under them and get that timing down. They did have some great plays through. The one really nice ball up to Coleman, Natalie Coleman, running down the middle of the field. Great play through from Cifuentes, but Coleman got free, went one-on-one, but shot it right at the keeper. What seems to be what a lot of players do is they shoot it right at the keeper instead of going towards the bottom or the top upper posts. And that went right to the keeper, got blocked. That could have been an easy 2-0 lead for the Blazers.
All right, we'll take a timeout here. When we come back, more of the halftime show. Centralia, the Blazers leading the Grays Harbor Chokers 1-0. Back in a minute on the Eli Sports Network.
The Pacific Athletic Center, a locally owned nonprofit organization, is dedicated to developing quality youth sports programs at an affordable price. Our team practice rental rates start at $10 an hour for local Chehalis area teams. In addition to operating as a practice facility, the PAC is always adding to its offerings. From skill development to organizing and hosting competitive tournaments, there's always something new going on. To find out more, check out the PAC online at pacificathleticcenter.com.
Are you an athlete, former athlete, or suffering from athletic-type injuries? Then you need to stop by Pacific Sports Spa and check out the most cutting-edge therapy equipment assembled in one place in all of the Pacific Northwest. Pacific Sports Spa can help you deal with the pain and soreness of sprains, inflammation, or stiff joints and muscles. Check out the services offered by Pacific Sports Spa on their website at pacificsportspa.com. Pacific Sports Spa is an athlete's best friend.
The Visiting Nurses Foundation, in association with Assured Home Health and Hospice, provides essential services to home health and hospice patients and families. The Visiting Nurses Foundation funds programs, purchases medical equipment, and cares for the medically needy. You can help the mission of Visiting Nurses and get a great deal at the same time by shopping at the Visiting Nurses thrift shops in Centralia and Chehalis. Click on the ad on the Eli Sports Network to the Visiting Nurses website for locations and more bargains. Visiting Nurses, there in your time of need.
Weichert Reynolds Realty in Olympia is proud to support all student athletes as they strive to be the best. There are a lot of similarities between athletes and the professionals you'll meet at Weichert Reynolds Realty. Both know that hard work is not enough to be the best, but you must couple that hard work with attention to detail. Focus on the big picture, be creative and inventive, and those are just the obvious traits. When you come through the doors of Weichert Reynolds Realty at 2532 Pacific Avenue in Olympia, you'll be taken care of by their team of all-stars. Looking to buy or sell in Thurston County and surrounding areas? Your first call should be to Weichert Reynolds Real Estate at 360-412-6731. When it comes to real estate, turn to the pros at Weichert Reynolds.
And Back here at Stewart Field in Aberdeen, home of the Grays Harbor Chokers, as they host the Centralia College Blazers, and the Blazers are up 1-0 here at halftime. Tony Davila, play-by-play guy, and our analyst Noel Vasquez is also a part-time assistant coach with the Blazers, so he goes down at halftime and passes on what he's seen from this vantage point. He's also handling the camera during the match as well. So, Tony, one of the things that I heard the coaches, Coach Malionet and his assistants, really getting on their team about is you don't always have to pass the ball forward. You can go backwards, and they're going forward, oddly enough, too much, and it's getting into the defense instead of it's not there, kick it back and reset.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we heard them saying, that they were going too linear. They're going too straight at what they want to do. And when you do that, yes, you do get some openings, but it's usually at a bad angle or the defense is able to close on you. When you get those playbacks, it opens up spacing. That's the big key, is especially for this Blazers team, they've done a good job of the low passes in, but there haven't been any real high crosses or anything that could be of any danger. The one that they did get was the goal scored that Panacone went to the far side and chipped it over everybody, and that was a high little floater that goes back to Cifuentes. But other than that, they haven't gotten any high crosses in. There's been no in-air threat for either side, really. The Blazers, they've all been low drives, short drives down the field that they've been back and forth, but they haven't really been able to create any space. They haven't been using triangles. It's usually a give and one go and then a run straight onto the goal. That hasn't been working for them. They're going to have to switch up. They're going to have to use their flanks better and maybe use Rorda in the middle of the field, who came in and she added a little boost over Coleman, who's a smaller player. So maybe that's going to be a difference with Rorda being a bigger striker in the middle of the field.
Well, and then Jocelyn Lindsay, just my observations, looks to me like she's still working back into game shape. She had a couple of big opportunities. The last one, I'm just right behind her, and I think if she takes one more step, and you're always conscious of waiting too long before you get a shot off. This time, if she had waited one more step, I think she would have hit it on the inside of the pole, the far pole. She had the right idea, missed it literally by about a foot and a half.
And that's one of those that we saw her in the last game against LCC, that she did that a lot. She likes that angle on the near post. She will take those shots. And in the last game against LCC, in the first half, she took shots. She didn't try to set anybody up. She took that angle and took those shots. And what that does is it sucks everybody to her because she is taking those shots. And later as the game goes on, those back post runs will start to open up, and she'll put one on the backside like she did in that game to Sydney Reeves to get that one goal that they did score. But look for her to set something like that up later in the game.
On the flip side for Grays Harbor, I think big props to their keeper, Jenna Dumont, who apparently, you can see she's working into this, and she's got definite weaknesses. But, man, she made a huge stop.
That was on Coleman.
On Coleman there. One-on-one came up, and she's made some other really big stops there. You can see she's still trying to get her bearings in there. Not sure what her experience level is, but tonight she's playing big for the Chokers.
Yeah, she's played big. I also like the way that Judy Renteria is playing in the middle of the field, number 19. She's done a good job of settling the ball down when they need someone to play it forward. It's been Renteria, really, and Housden moving the ball up and down the field. Also getting up there was Hannah Quinn. But those three are the ones that are touching the ball a lot and trying to work together. But they're each playing on a different part of the field. One's playing backline, one's midfield, and one's forward. And when you have that split, it's a straight line up the field. There's nobody running with Renteria and Housden down the field. They need to have that extra movement down the field that will create more space, as we were saying, for Centralia. If someone else is running, you know that people are going to close on Housden. She's got 2 of the 3 goals scored by the Chokers this season, so they know the defense is watching her. Mary Richardson is watching her, and as Noel said, they're trying to get Mary Richardson out of place because she's their best backline player right now. They're trying to get her out of formation to get better shots on goal.
All right, that'll do it for the halftime show. When we come back, second half action, Centralia College and Grays Harbor going at it here on the Eli Sports Network.
The final score is on the board, but we're not done yet. The post-game show is next with the final numbers, stats, comments, and our post-game honors coming up next on the Eli Sports Network.
You know you want this. It's the foundation that opens the door to opportunity. Centralia College Bachelor's of Applied Science and Management degree is your credential for success. Start your journey now with a hybrid 2-year degree at Centralia College, then move into the college's acclaimed bachelor's program. If finances are an issue, the Centralia College Foundation may be able to help you. Simply go online today and fill out an application. For more information, go to centralia.edu. Centralia College, where your success begins.
GNC in Chehalis is the place to stop for quality vitamins and sports nutrition products. GNC offers a large selection of multivitamins that meet the needs of men, women, kids, and teens. Locally owned since 1993 by the Kerner family, Chehalis GNC invites you to come in today for a healthy new you. Ask about GNC's free reward program to start receiving rebates on all your purchases. Chehalis GNC in the Twin City Town Center, across from Starbucks. GNC, come in and live well.
The Port of Centralia is a local leader in bringing new family wage jobs to Southwest Washington. The Port of Centralia Board of Commissioners is proud to support the local businesses like the Eli Sports Network and our local kids. There is no doubt our future leaders are those that can commit, are dedicated, and self-motivated. The Port of Centralia believes high school sports is a great way to develop those skills. Best of luck, athletes from the Port of Centralia.
Welcome back to Stewart Field. We are not in the post-game show. That was the wrong ad played. We are starting the second half as Houston launches it down the field for the Chokers, who start off with the opening possession of the second half. Ball will get back to the back line. Mary Richardson plays it towards the far sideline, and that gets cleared out of play by the Blazers. No corners for either side in the first half, and looks like there was almost one to start the second half for the Chokers. Right now it is 1-0 after a 22nd minute goal by Stephanie Cifuentes put the Blazers on top. Tony Diver, Noel Vasquez, and Paul Beatty here. Paul running the board, Noel running the camera for us right now. Throw in by the Chokers, headed out there by Panacone. And a low shot will go well wide of everything. And it looks like Renteria might be trying to shake that one off. Kick coming from Richardson down the field. Coleman taps it up to Panacone. Long pass up, trying to lead Cifuentes. Cifuentes trying to run onto it. Too long for Stephanie to get there, and it'll be a throw-in to the Chokers.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed, just right now starting the game, is how Grace Harbor is actually looking pretty hopeful to come back and maybe tie up the game. They're pushing up hard, they're playing hard, and you can just tell they come off the half and they're just a little bit pumped up more than usual. They probably, in past games, I don't think they've been in this situation when they're only down by one at halftime, so it must be feeling pretty good right now, that knowing that they can make a comeback and tie it up the game or maybe even take it.
Yeah, this is one of those that Centralia did the same thing last on Wednesday against LCC. Is they had a 1-0 lead at halftime, and they slowed things down and allowed LCC to come back with a 55th minute goal that ended up being the equalizer and going to a tie for the final. But I'm pretty sure Grays Harbor probably saw that same thing, and they're looking to do that here. Get an equalizer at least, and then if you get that, then keep on pressing and get a second goal for your first win of the season here at home. Ball goes middle of the field. Hannah Quinn. Quinn, long lead pass. Renteria will get there to go off of Richardson. Renteria turns, trying to get a pass forward. Nobody there. Ball sent back by Fanacone. This ball will be played back to the keeper in Jenna Dumont. Dumont, good drop kick, goes to Panacone. Panacone towards Coleman. Coleman with a run. Coleman will take a shot, and that's punched out by the keeper. Great punch out that time by Dumont. Coleman this time did go opposite post, and that was just a big save by Jenna Dumont.
Yeah, it was a great run by Natalie Coleman, making that run on the outside, just one time and take that shot straight on goal. Great block by the goalkeeper, like you said, and just keeping the hopes up for Grace Harbor. They're actually trying to move the ball and have some sort of possession for this second half.
Mishandled ball to the middle of the field. Renteria on a long run. Richardson will do a good job coming back and cutting her off. Soto, Nareda to the near side. Soto trying to get a long lead pass up, and that ball will go out of play before the player running on for the Blazers can get there. That's Kaya Porter, who gets the start for the second half. Throw in goes towards Renteria. Judy will go towards the sideline, knocked back by Soto. Panacone, Leanne will go back to Richardson. Richardson near side towards Soto. That'll be cut off, but it'll end up at the foot of Porter. Kaya will send it out of play. That'll bounce right back to her. Took a bounce as that goes out off the foot of Perla Hernandez. This ball will get by everybody. Slow run down. Ball will be pushed up the near sideline. Good hard run up this near sideline by Ashley Marshall. Bobbing and weaving through. It'll go back to Renteria. She'll turn and look to clear it. Coming up is Panacone to Richardson. Back to Leanne. Leanne trying to get around Renteria. Judy making a long run. Stops, turns. Looking for Houston in the middle of the field. Houston to the far sideline. Lead pass cut off. Cut right back to Taylor Houston. She'll get cut off, and there's a long pass up the field. Coleman trying to run it down. Keeper a long way out of the box. Comes out and skies it down the field. Blazers trying to keep it to themselves. That's Jocelyn Lindsay up that far side. Lindsay pass over to Dow's. Back to Jocelyn. Gets a pass to Coleman, and an offside flag goes up. Free kick coming for Grace Harbor.
Yeah, Grace Harbor is definitely connecting a bit more passes right now in the second half, actually moving the ball up with some more purpose than they were in the first half. Also, they're having more control of the ball, and, they're actually communicating, talking well, and their goalkeeper, coming out on those long balls, kind of like a keeper sweeper. It's really helping them. He makes up for a lot of the defensive issues that they've been having here in the first half.
Yeah, the keeper's going to have to be a little more aggressive on those long balls down the field, but you can't get too caught up in that, as here's a long run coming from Jocelyn Lindsay trying to play it in. Keeper will come over Dumont and scoop it. Lindsay didn't get a good cross in. Richardson was standing in the middle of the box, but that ball got scooped up by Dumont instead. Now, as you were saying, though, that's one that Dumont is going to have to step up and be more of a defender. When those long balls are played back to you, you're going to have to make a decision quicker and clear it out up the field and stop allowing a lot of these runs to be played on your back line.
Yeah, especially with Natalie Coleman making those long runs, and she's a fast player, that's always running the route and actually getting to the ball 90% of the time at least. It does make a difference if you're coming out and making her angle smaller. I mean, you already had that one-on-one against her where you definitely slow her down and block that one-on-one shot. So it really does help if she just doesn't stay inside her own 6 and actually moves out to the penalty area.
This cross comes in. It is blocked by the Blazers, but that'll go out for a throw-in. No, it'll be a free kick to the Blazers on the far side of the field. No, it will be a throw-in. I was right the first time. Panacone down the far sideline to Jocelyn Lindsay. Lindsay making a long run, taps the ball ahead to herself. Lindsay has Coleman on the far side, stops, turns. Lindsay, low pass back to Dow's. Dow's can't get onto it. Ball comes back. Coming up is Panacone. Panacone can't get there. And a good clearance out of the back line by the Chokers. Ball will come back. Houston makes sure she's onside. Cut off by Cifuentes. Cifuentes trying to go to Dow's. Stephanie will cut this ball right back off. And that'll go to the sideline and out of play. Throw in coming for the Chokers. Throw in. Chokers looking to get something on offense going as this ball goes right back into the air. And there's going to be a free kick to the Chokers. Going to take it is going to be Amanda Brott. Brott will back up. Down the field, headed right out by Mary Richardson. That'll go back to Brott, to Houston, to the center of the field, towards Auld. Megan Auld. No, that was Auld that played it in to Houston. 11 and 17 look a lot alike on the back of a jersey. Ball up the field. Soto plays it out of the air nicely, trying to lead Dow's. Back it goes to Soto. Nareda doing a good job of playing on this back line. Ball will be played back to the keeper. And Henderson gets a good lob down the field. Cifuentes trying to tap the ball to herself. Stephanie will get there, stops. And that ball will be knocked out of play off of the Chokers. Throw in coming for Nareda Soto.
And a lot more possession on the opposite side of the field for the Chokers. Actually, like I say, moving the ball with some purpose and getting some gaps open.
Coleman with a run. Coleman lets that ball go through to Panacone. Stops, turns. Leanne with a shot and a goal. Leanne Panacone makes it 2-0 after Coleman's pass. Coleman with the assist and Leanne Panacone with the goal. In the 56th minute. And give Coleman the assist. Played it through. Nicely done by the Blazers. They go up 2-0. Ball played back on the restart to Houston. Long lob up towards Renteria. Renteria makes a long run. Nobody really covering on the back end. She'll come back to the ball, though. Gets it over towards Quinn. Back towards Renteria. That'll go too long and out of play. Throw in for the Blazers.
Yeah, and it seems like this is going to take some breath away from the Chokers since they were actually starting the second half pretty strong and actually moving up the ball. Now with the second goal on top of them, it might take him a little longer, to move the ball. And, Centralia is going to start making some decent runs, and probably coach is going to start making some subs too, get some fresh legs out there, not letting the Chokers try to make a comeback.
Yeah, that's one big thing is you're going to have to settle the ball down and not let people keep on running on you. If you're the Blazers, you're going to have to learn how to close out games. They had a big lead. They had the 1-0 lead against LCC. That would have been huge for them in the standings if they could have held on to get that win. But that back line faltered one time, and they allowed that one goal to leak in. And now with this 2-0 cushion lead, they can really set balls up down the field and not have to worry so much about that equalizer goal right away. Jocelyn Lindsay makes a long run, taps it by the back line. Lindsay taps it to herself, looking for the cross over to Coleman. There was a slide, and that should be a corner to the Blazers. It will be first corner of the match for either team. And the Blazers will have it, and Mary Richardson will be the one to take the corner. Jocelyn Lindsay will stand in front of the keeper. Richardson throws the hand up. High. Renteria will get there first. Shot from distance right to the keeper, and she'll knock it out of the air. That was a long lob coming off the foot of Kaya Porter. High arcing, and that was one that was a good job by Dumont to keep that one, keep an eye on that one. It looked like it was going to be a little off target, but still, that's one that'll keep you on your toes. Richardson in the middle of the field, dispossessed. Ball will go over to Quinn. Hannah to Birdsall. Richardson will cut off Birdsall. Back to the far sideline to Jocelyn Lindsay. Jocelyn to Coleman. Coleman lead pass up, trying to go to Dowse. And it looks like Dowse will not catch up to it. She might catch up to it. She will not. That will be a goal kick to the Chokers. And taking the kick is going to be Ashley Marshall for Grace Harbor. Marshall goes down the field, ball settled. And that'll be pushed out of play. Throw incoming for the Blazers. And Kelsey Hazelton will run up the far sideline to throw it in. A couple of subs get up to warm up for the Blazers. Hazelton, throw in. Panacone towards Cifuentes. Cifuentes plays it back. This ball will go back to Nereda Soto trying to chip it over, and that'll go too long for anybody to run onto it. Dumont made a good decision there. Came running up. Drop kick. Pushed to the middle of the field by Porter. Pass to the far sideline by the Chokers. Panacone. Pass forward to Lindsay. Jocelyn. Left-footed shot goes right to the keeper. Tried to go lefty, and Dumont drops to a knee and grabs that one. Hazelton pushes it forward. Leanne trying to run onto it. Panacone. And Hazelton will knock it out of play. Throw in coming for the Chokers. 30 minutes to go in regulation. 2-0. The Centralia College Blazers lead the Grays Harbor Chokers. And just a reminder, if you are listening on the Eli Sports Network, you can also watch the video stream free. There's a little bit of a delay, but it is also free on YouTube and Twitter. Follow us at Your ESN on Twitter. Same for our YouTube page as well. You can get free video there. As there's a hard collision going down as one of the Blazers. It looks like that's Nereda Soto that's still down. Blazers will let that one go out of play. And Soto is down. Also down is going to be Cervantes, Alicia. Cervantes goes down. It looks like those two might have banged knees on that run. Couple of subs to check in for the Blazers as the trainer comes out to check on Soto. Cervantes is getting stretched out on her, that'd be her left knee. Head coach Horst Malunut makes his way out onto the field to check on Nereda Soto. As a sub gets up to check in for the Chokers. That will replace Cervantes. Coach Malunut coming over to check on his player. Also coming out is Coach Cornell as he makes his way out onto the field. Coach Cornell looks like he might have a little bit of an injury himself as he's limping around on the field. As the rain now starts to fall here at Stewart Field. Getting up is Cervantes. She will walk off the field. Everybody trying to stretch to stay warm for this break. Cervantes will go out. And Soto will be helped up. It looks like Keely Thomas will be the one to check in for Soto. And Brittany Wright will check in for the Chokers.
Yeah, I think moving back to Soto's position is going to be Keela Dawson. She's been playing that position prior before Soto arrived to the team earlier this season. So I think that's where Keela is going to be playing. As you can see her already standing in that position. And it doesn't really look that good for Soto. Maybe a knee-to-knee, but you just never know with us anymore.
Yeah, you never know what other issue there could be, but it looked like it was a 50-50 ball, both of them. Cervantes and Soto bang knees. Soto walks off under her own pressure, but with leaning highly on Coach Malunat, Cervantes was able to walk off to the sideline, but she is being checked out by trainers and her head coach as well. And Dow's from that back line spot plays a long ball forward. Keely Thomas tries to run it down. Keeper plays it to the sideline. Jocelyn Lindsay will be the first one to get there for the Blazers. Sidesteps one. Lindsay with a shot that'll go right to the keeper in Dumont, but good decision that time by Lindsay, but she shot it right at the keeper, but wasn't sure if Dumont was was in position. So test her from distance, especially with this rain starting to fall. Houston down the field. Houston turns, works it back to the center of the field, trying to go to Renteria. That's cut off. Ball goes to Auld. Megan. Her pass is blocked. It'll go over to Marshall. Ashley is cut off by Thomas. Over to Jocelyn Lindsay. Up to Coleman, but she is offside. Flag goes up. Free kick coming for the Chokers. As a sub will check in for the Blazers' next opportunity. Can't quite tell who that is. As they go and run down this ball. And taking the kick will be Amanda Brott. Brott places it. Brott down the field, past everybody. Richardson gets there first, and a couple of Chokers players run into each other. Lindsay to the far sideline, gets by one, has Keely Thomas and Coleman running forward, tries to go to Thomas, and that'll be played out. Pushed out of bounds by Perla Hernandez. Coleman will check out now. Sub will check in into the middle of the field. And that is going to be Yvette Arroyo. Throw-in will go out of play for the goal kick for the Chokers. Taking the kick is going to be Ashley Marshall.
And how often do you see field players taking goal kicks for goalkeepers nowadays? Not just in high school, but apparently in college too. You know, it's for me, if I was recruiting a goalkeeper for any sort of college, especially maybe university level even too, I think that would be one of the first things that you will look at. You know, can the goalkeeper do their own job and just do their own goal kicks?
Yeah, that was one that we did a game early on in the high school season between North Mason and Tumwater. North Mason's keeper, she is one of those that she can launch the ball back and forth down the field. Sorry, I can't remember her name at the moment, but she is one of those extremely hard-footed keepers that can get the ball across midfield with every kick that she takes. Her and Courtney Leifer, the Centralia High School keeper. This ball played to the middle of the field will go right to the foot of Hannah Quinn. Quinn trying to beat this middle of the field. Quinn down the far sideline, long lead pass, trying to run onto it. They will get there. Will the Chokers? Chokers trying to keep it alive. Back heel in, and that will go up the field as the Blazers thought it was going to go out for a goal kick. They just clear it down the field and out of play. Throw in coming for the Chokers. Long throw in. Knocked right back by the Blazers. It looks like that's Thomas Keeley. No, that's not Keeley Thomas. That was Arroyo. And Arroyo's long pass down the field will go over to Dumont. She'll tap it back into the box and scoop it up. Drop kick. Settled by the Blazers. That was Moore trying to get there. Courtney. Lots of bodies in one area. Long run down that far sideline. Everybody back, trying to settle back for the Blazers as the rain picks up here. And this ball will go out of play for a corner for Grays Harbor. This is only the 5th corner of the season for the Chokers.
You know, and it's you know, as you say, it's the 5th corner of the season for them when we're literally halfway through the season. Now you got to think about that's when you start realizing that the other team has not played on the opposite side of the field that much. And, you know, today here in the second half, they are actually playing very well in the second half. They might giving up a goal, but at the end of the day, they were actually moving the ball well.
On the corner, it's a low rip that running out, and Emily Henderson will catch that one on the fly. Taylor Houston checked back in right before that corner was taken. Ball will go back in. Trying to win that ball back is Keeley Thomas. That'll go to Arroyo. Arroyo, long lead pass, near side, chip towards the far side, trying to play it forward. That was Porter into the area of Thomas. Sub comes in. Going out is Dow's. Checking in is going to be Lily Grubbs. And Brott sends it down the field. Panacone gets it towards Cifuentes. Cifuentes lead pass over. One-on-one. Lindsay with a shot and goes right to the keeper. Again, chip over. They're shooting right at the keeper. Nobody taking these shots. Offside flag did go up, but that's about the 3rd or 4th shot that they've shot right at the keeper, not trying to take an angle over her or towards the back post. It's going right to Dumont every time they're taking a shot.
Yeah, especially when they're going one-on-one against a goalkeeper. And, you know, she's just piling up the saves, and that's okay with her. Looks good in her stats.
Ball played forward, trying to lead Keeley Thomas. Lindsay trying to poke the ball away from behind. Missing on it was Porter. It'll go back over towards Grubbs. Grubbs presses forward against Houston. Long lead pass up. Long run coming for Grays Harbor. Richardson trying to close, and that'll go to Henderson. Good long run down that far side. I believe that's Brittany Wright that's over there.
Yeah, and I think that's the 4th or 5th time just here in the second half that they keep targeting that side of the field where Kelsey Alselton is and trying to put the ball behind her back and make her turn around, chase him down. And, you know, little by little, they just get closer and closer to the goal, as we just saw on that last play.
Fuentes making a long run. Stephanie trying to get around a defender. Second one comes up. Thomas trying to go over there, and that ball will be played out up the field. No, it'll stay in play. And now it'll go out of bounds on that far sideline. Sub will check in for the Chokers. And Brittany Wright will check out. And Alicia Cervantes will check back in. She was a player that went down, that collided with
Soto,
Nareda Soto. So that's a good thing for the Chokers to see Cervantes check back into the match. As we are in the 72nd minute, 2-0. The Centralia Blazers on top of the Grays Harbor Chokers. This ball cleared, but not very well, and it'll go right to one of the Chokers. They'll turn, get it to the foot of Renteria. Judy still on the run. She'll run into a wall of 2 players and get fouled. Free kick straight away coming for the Chokers. And that is just outside of the box at the 15-yard line on the football field markers. 2 players will be right there. I believe that's Housden standing over the ball. And that is. Wall back 10 yards. Housden will be the one setting up. Taylor Housden. Will take the shot, and that's off the crossbar, bounces out, and then missed again off the post. Grays Harbor back-to-back opportunities. Housden on the free kick, and then Housden comes over and throws a shoulder in there. But off the crossbar, off the post, unlucky for the Chokers. Free kick coming for the Blazers, but wow, that has to be one of those disappointing things for the Chokers. You have a free kick, goes over everything, good placement, off the crossbar, secondary attempt goes off the post, and then a frustration foul after all that happened. Jocelyn Lindsay trying to run this ball down. This ball will be played to the sideline. Arroyo will get there. Arroyo looking for a cross. Arroyo stops, turns, goes back towards Panacone. Panacone trying to go to Grubbs. She'll go short, and that'll be cut off by Quinn. Hannah Quinn with it. Goes one-on-one with Leanne. This ball will be cut by Lindsay. Jocelyn will have it. Goes to Arroyo. Arroyo gets fouled, and there's a free kick coming for the Blazers. And it will be Leanne Panacone going to take it as we enter the 75th minute, and the Blazers lead 2-0 on Grays Harbor. Panacone high into the box. Keeper will come out and catch it off the first bounce. Almost overran that one. She'll roll it out quickly to Cervantes. Goes towards Housden. Back come the Blazers. Panacone. Pass forward. Goes to Lindsay. Jocelyn. Back towards the middle of the field, trying to cross over towards Arroyo. This one will bounce into the box and be scooped up again by Dumont. Big drop kick by Jenna. That'll go under the foot of Richardson. Cleared up by Azleton. Grubbs towards Arroyo. Sidestep on one by Gabby Vasquez. Gabby cut off. Back comes Cifuentes and the Blazers. Cifuentes trying to do too much footwork in the middle of the field, gets cut off, but Keely Thomas able to backtrack and win that one out of the air. Panacone. Overrun. Grubbs will have it. Lily has time to survey. Plays to the sideline trying to get it over to Porter, but too far behind Porter. Throw in coming for the Chokers. Grays Harbor to throw in, and that's Hernandez throwing in. Looks like it slipped out of her hand as she was thrown in. Keely Thomas trying to win it. Renteria, a long kick up the field. Henderson will come out and at least clears it to midfield. Cifuentes tries to tap it to herself. Old is right there. That'll come over to Housden. Housden has a player running forward in Birdsall. And there's a long kick up the field. That'll be picked up by Henderson. Pushing that forward was Gabby Vasquez. And Emily We'll drop kick that one. Over the top it goes. Back to the middle of the field. Good heel by Azleton. Looks like she just threw her leg up there, and there's an offside flag. Housden just offside. It'll be free kick taken by the Blazers up the field to, that is Jocelyn Lindsay. Hesitation by Lindsay. Stops, turns, gets a player to run with her. Cross comes towards Panacone, and there's a goal. Leanne Panacone from Jocelyn Lindsay. Assist goes to Lindsay. Goal goes to Panacone. Her second goal of the match. So Panacone with 2 goals and an assist, having a night for the Blazers.
Yeah, definitely. You know, from what I heard on the LCC game, I don't think she was too involved with the ball. I think on the first half she was a little bit. In the second half she kind of disappeared a little bit. But, you know, today for sure she's been all over the place, touching the ball in every play that has gotten to the goal, either in a goal-scoring opportunity or just the goals in general, you know, making a big difference for the Blazers today.
Here comes Jocelyn Lindsay down the far sideline. Jocelyn with a deep shot coming forward, and it looks like the other opposite forward wasn't expecting that ball to squirt through. She would have had a chance, even if she slid and got a toe on that. That would have been redirected towards goal. But Jocelyn just goes long. Can't quite see the number of who was running. That looks like Sam Lindsay.
No, it's Megan Ruda.
Oh, Ruda was the one making the run on the far side, or on the near side of the field. But, yeah, that's one that in the LCC game, the midfield was pretty much held quiet for the Blazers. They started out playing well with Panacone and Cifuentes, and then in the second half, it seems like LCC, that was what they wanted to shut down, and they did. They stopped their leading goal scorers. Here's a long run down the field, trying to get there, and there's a shot, and just wide, couldn't get the shot to go in. Long run and shot coming from Taylor Housden, set up, had a good opportunity, just couldn't put it in the back of the net, pulled it wide.
Yeah, and it's like I was saying on the first half, they're waiting for Mary Richardson to make that run up the field, just go up the field and clear up some sort of ball. And when that happens, Grace Harbor gets possession of the ball. The first thing they do is look down the field to where Mary's supposed to be and put it through there. And we saw that. Courtney Moore did a great job slowing Hudson down, but at the same time, it was a very dangerous play.
This ball will go out of play. A couple of subs looking to check in for Grace Harbor as well. See who goes out. It looks like Cervantes will be one of the players going out, and Birdsall will be the other. Bianca Perez and Brittany Wright check in for the Chokers. Ball will be knocked out of play off of the Blazers, as there is just about 9 minutes left in the match. 3-0 Blazers on top. In the first match between these two, the Blazers won that one 4-0. So a majority of the goals scored on the season so far have come against Grace Harbor for the Blazers. Ball bounces around, takes an odd bounce for the Chokers. Right, we'll play it back to Housden. Trying to go right back to Housden was brought, and Lindsay was able to jump in front of that one. Long kick up the field. Coleman going to try to run it down, or Rorda, and that one will go back to Coleman. To Jocelyn Lindsay. Lindsay has players running forward. Sydney Rees is up. Sydney settles the ball the first time. This ball will come right back. And a shot over the head and over the crossbar off the foot of Stephanie Cifuentes. Cifuentes trying to get her second goal of the match as well.
Yeah, and it's it was pretty cool to see, like you were saying, the first half, Stephanie Cifuentes, Sydney Reese, Jocelyn play at Black Hills, and me and you broadcasted a game between those teams, Woodland and Black Hills, and Cifuentes was their player to go to because she transitioned the ball well. Right now, we've seen that today too. Her and Leanne are the ones all over the ball, moving the ball around and trying to get shots from distance.
Yeah, and that's one of those that against LCC, they have a little bit of advantage. Here's Cifuentes with another shot, and this one will go in. Cifuentes, and it goes right into the chest of the keeper. Cifuentes in the 83rd minute will add her second goal unassisted. But as I was saying, against LCC has a little bit of an advantage because Brian Vogel is one of their assistant coaches. He was Cifuentes' high school coach for her entire career, so that's one that he kind of knows what she's good at and what she can do on the field. And that's, I believe, why they probably shut her down in the second half, because he knew where she would like to go and how these balls were going to be played to her.
Yeah, definitely. But today, she has 2 goals already, and she's taking some good shots. And we know that if we're going to see players taking shots from a distance, it's either going to be Leanne or Cifuentes. And so far, the goals that we've seen from Cifuentes, either following the ball down the middle of the field, taking that long shot from a distance.
Yeah, that last shot was just one of those that you're going to test the keeper in the rain. She didn't think that it was going to go in. She was pretty happy that it did because it looked like Dumont was going to come up and make a good play on it, but tried to catch it with her body instead of with her hands, and it just rolled up her shoulder and over and into the back of the net.
Yeah, and the score is 4-0 on Centralia's side right now, but that shouldn't take enough credit from the Grace Harbor goalkeeper that she's been busy all night long and just keeping save after save. So I'm pretty sure the stat book for her looks pretty good tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those that you get peppered with so many shots that eventually some of them are going to start falling through, and that seems to be the case here late in the game as there are 2 goals after the 78th minute, 3 here in the second half, scored by the Blazers. Collision free kick coming for the Blazers as Richardson got taken down. Richardson moving up the field now, playing more of her natural midfield forward role. And Mary will take this shot from deep, and that'll be caught by Dumont.
Yeah, she was trying to get the goalkeeper off guard as the goalkeeper was trying to move her players down the field so they can cover some players that might make the run when Mary took that shot.
Grubbs with the header forward as Leanne Panacone is the player to move back to play the back line next to Hazelton. Keeper will come out and clear this one out of bounds. Henderson able to clear that one out. With 4.5 minutes to play in regulation, the Blazers of Centralia College lead Grays Harbor 4-0. Long, low shot. That'll be played right back down the field. Coleman can't flick it backwards with the header. That one will go out of play. Throw in coming for the Blazers. Coleman does push it backwards this time. A little bit of a step over, and that one will be cleared up the field. Grubbs pushes it up towards Rorda. Rorda to the near side to Sydney Rees. Rees, ball taken away, coming up to run onto that. Tapping it around one was Perla Hernandez. Hernandez gets it over. Pass looking for the shot. Nobody looking to take a shot, and the ball will keep on rolling and go out of play for a corner for Grays Harbor. Second corner of the match for the Chokers. And they came into the game with 4 corners on the season, and they've got 2 tonight. Ald will check out. Going over to take this corner. Can't quite see the number of who is over there. Hand goes up. And Henderson will let that hit the side netting and be out of play. Goal kick coming for the Blazers. With under 3 minutes to go in regulation. Shouldn't be a lot of stoppage time, although it's been stopped for. There was that injury stoppage between the two players on the far side. Right in front of us, Nareda Soto and Alicia Cervantes. Both of them collide. Ball will go up the field. And Jocelyn Lindsay sidesteps. Lindsay taps it up the field. This ball will go back towards Richardson. Richardson blocks one forward. That'll be pushed forward by Coleman to Rorda. Rorda onside, offside is Rorda, and her shot is blocked anyway.
Yeah, and what happened on that last play was that Rura was actually on the offside position. She tried to come back. By the time the pass was made, she was a little too late, and that's when she struggled, trying to get back to speed, turn around, and get back on side. A little too late on that, but it was a great kick, good save for the goalkeeper again. We've seen her make big-time saves even on the offside plays.
And here comes the Blazers again trying to work the ball forward. Rees trying to win it, and there's going to be a free kick, a little over-aggressive with Sydney trying to get through the player in Judy Renteria. Long play down the field, pushed forward by Moore. Azleton overruns, trying to get around the player on the sideline. Looks like she might have, something might have happened. Couldn't see what went on there. It looks like it might have been a high kick or something. It looked like that was a good play to clear that ball out of bounds. We'll take a little bit of a stoppage with about a minute to go in regulation, but there will be some stoppage time added because we have had, now this is the second injury.
As we see the referees in the back, the center referee of the center official talking to their assistant about some sort of play.
Trying to see what happened, what they saw, and if it was a high kick or an illegal kick. Illegal maneuver is going out is going to be Brittany Wright. She was the one that went down. Not sure what happened. As you can listen in to the post-game show. For the post-game show, we'll give post-game awards, and only for our college broadcasts will we have, especially for soccer, we will have an offensive and defensive player for the Centralia College Blazers only, and we are looking forward to that. You can listen to our post-game show after the match is over, which should be here shortly between these two sides. Didn't see any number indicated on how many minutes will be left after this one gets through. Renteria up top trying to build a shot. Renteria stops, turns, everybody closes on Judy. Trying to get around the defenders and coming up big on that back line for Centralia. And that is Sydney Reeves with a long clearance down the field. Ball headed towards the sideline. Jocelyn Lindsay trying to outpace Perla Hernandez. That'll go off of Hernandez. Throw-in coming for the Blazers. Lindsay looking to throw it in. Jocelyn gets it towards Richardson. Mary overshoots, trying to get it to Coleman. Coleman made a diving, jumping attempt, and it just goes over her head. And that is the end of the match. At the end of the match, the Blazers come away with the 4-0 win over Grays Harbor. We'll be back with the post-game show here on the Eli Sports Network right after this.
The final score is on the board, but we're not done yet. The post-game show is next with the final numbers, stats, comments, and our post-game honors coming up next on the Eli Sports Network.
Good Health Nutrition Center in Centralia is your home base for nutrition. When you visit Good Health Nutrition Center, you'll find the largest selection of vitamins, supplements, and natural remedies. You may be surprised to also find a huge selection of healthy groceries such as gluten-free products, environmentally friendly products, organic fruits and vegetables, and items for specific diets like the diabetic diet. Good Health Nutrition Center, powering students and athletes from the inside out. Good Health Nutrition Center on Harrison in Centralia.
OB Credit Union is your local credit union throughout the South Sound area. At OB Credit Union, you can open a personal savings account or checking account and plan for your financial future. David Littleton is a financial advisor, and he's waiting to hear from you today. Dave can help plan for your future and put in safeguards for when times get tough, while taking advantage of high-profit time periods. OB Credit Union is a longtime community member and supporter of local students. Stop in today at OB Credit Union in Lacey, Tumwater, and Tenino.
Pacific Mobile Structures are big supporters of kids and athletics. Pacific Mobile Structures is the leader in temporary structures. If you are in need of temporary office space on a work site or for overflow space, or if your building is in need of major renovation, Pacific Mobile Structures can keep your company at work. Pacific Mobile Structures has a wide variety of square footage to fit your needs, and the structures do not have to be temporary. Pacific Mobile Structures can also offer you permanent space for a fraction of the cost to build your own. Go online to check out Pacific Mobile Structures.
Athletes, the time is now to get serious about improving yourself to reach your goals. We all know that college recruiters and professional scouts put a lot of importance on those tangible measurements, such as a 40 time, your vertical leap, cone drills, and so on. Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater has a special, unique training program that will improve your results across the board. If you are serious about raising your performance to the next level, you need to talk with the pros today at Proactive Physical Therapy. Check them out online or call for an appointment today.
Time for the final numbers, comments, and naming our Pacific Sports Spa players of the game and our play of the game on the post-game show. Let's head back to the stadium one last time here on the Eli Sports Network.
And welcome back to Stewart Field here in Aberdeen. Tony Davila here with Noel Vasquez as we get the wrap-up. 4-0, the Centralia Blazers get the same score as they did the first time against the Grays Harbor Chokers. Same result, 4-0 in the first match, 4-0 in the second match. The Blazers go home with a winner, and 2 more goals for Stephanie Cifuentes and Leanne Panacone. Both of them scored twice, so Panacone goes to 5 goals on the season. Cifuentes goes to 6, and Panacone added an assist as well for her second assist of the season. So both of them coming up huge for the Blazers. Jocelyn Lindsay assisted on the 3rd goal, and Natalie Coleman assisted on the 2nd goal. So every goal assisted on except for the last one by Cifuentes, which was more of a keeper error than a goal scored by Cifuentes.
Yeah, but, just to give her credit, she took that shot from a distance, and we hadn't seen Centralia actually try to take those type of shots earlier in the game till the second half when, like you said, Cifuentes took that shot. It's hard to understand why sometimes Centralia doesn't take the shots from a distance when you know for a fact that they're a good team, that they have people that can shoot from outside the 18, not just to give crosses, but actually to score too.
Yeah, and I think that the addition of Jocelyn Lindsay coming back allows them to open up and take those more shots because, as you said early on in the season, it was Panacone and Cifuentes the only ones, so everybody knew to close in on them. But the addition of that 3rd forward and Jocelyn Lindsay running up the field, because she will take shots from distance as well, that helps them out because now the back line can't key on 2 people. You can't double team both of the forwards because then one of them's going to run by you and get an open opportunity for a one-on-one if they would stop shooting directly at the keeper.
Yeah, they had too many chances where they were one-on-one against a keeper, and they could have just put it away. But, like you said, it's working on that finishing. Centralia has been struggling, scoring lots of goals. And like you mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Centralia has allowed 31 goals, I believe, to before the end of this game to Grace Harbor 36 or
39.
39. So it's not too far of a difference when you have a pretty competitive team that was almost in the playoffs last year, and this year struggling to get back up there.
Yeah, that's one that now they have allowed 43 goals on the season, has Grays Harbor, and Centralia has scored 19. So they're moving up a little bit in the right way, goals for and not goals against, because this was a shutout by Emily Henderson in this matchup. Wasn't tested too often. There was a couple of shots. The one really tough shot off of the free kick coming off the foot of Housden that goes off the crossbar, just missed the opportunity. The rebound goes to another Grays Harbor player that their shot goes off the post, and it rolls out for a throw-in for the Blazers. In the second half, as I said, it was Leanne Panacone with 2 goals back-to-back in the 56th and 78th minute. She got the first 2 goals, and then it was Stephanie Cifuentes in the 83rd minute that got the 4th and final goal of the match. All right, it is time now for some post-game awards after this.
Our Players of the Game Award is brought to you by Pacific Sports Spas in Chehalis and Tumwater. Pacific Sports Spas, where athletes go to recover from sore and strained muscles with cutting-edge technology that gets you back in the game faster and in a safe and controlled environment. Pacific Sports Spas supports all student athletes and is proud to honor the players of the game.
And as I stated earlier, we do something different for the college ranks because we are an actual affiliate of the Centralia College Blazers, so our post-game awards go only to them because, and usual for our high school broadcast, we are neutral, completely neutral. We have no home team. We do have a home team now in the Centralia Blazers, so we go offensive and defensive players of the game. And offensive, there were 2 choices, Stephanie Cifuentes or Leanne Panacone, and Panacone just edges her out because she got the assist. Both of them got 2 goals, but Panacone's goals, I believe, were a little bit better goals, more high-quality goals. Cifuentes, her first goal was a really good one, but it was set up by Panacone, and I believe that's why we will give the offensive player of the game to Leanne Panacone. And for the Centralia Blazers defensive player of the game, lots of players playing well. Nareda Soto was playing pretty well until she went out with a knee injury. Not sure how that's going to go with her. That would be a big drop-off for the Blazers because she does a lot of the throw-ins. She's a very quick, fast player on the back line, so that might be a big loss. But one of the other players on the back line, Mary Richardson, played well, but she played a lot of midfield and forward in the second half. So overall, we went with Kelsey Azelton, who played on the back line, center back, did a lot of work on the near side, cut off, and tracked Taylor Housden for most of the game. So Casey Azelton will be our defensive player of the game for the Centralia Blazers. So again, congratulations to Leanne Panacone for being our offensive player of the game and Kelsey Azelton for being our defensive player of the game. All right, that is going to wrap up this week in Sports for Us. We'll have more sports action to come throughout the week. Keep on checking out the website and see what we've got going on. We do keep updating the site with the games that we're going to do. We have our schedule up. If you want to follow us, we'll have a lot of NFHS pay-per-view games coming on. That seems to be what a lot of schools are going to. Not too many free broadcasts on YouTube and Twitter like tonight's was, but we do have some other games going on, and as always, our audio broadcasts are always free. So keep on checking out the site and check it out for pictures and a story later that will be written by our very own Paul Beatty. Keep on looking for those as well. All right. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.
Another